I've been racking my brain for many days now trying to find the solution to fix season 2 because I have all the answers, and that's why you guys subscribe to me, right? Speaking of subscribers, thank you for the 60,000 of them recently hit that. I think yesterday or today, this morning, I missed the number go from 60,000, so appreciate you guys for that one. Wish I could celebrate that under better circumstances, but we're in Tekken 8 season 2 right now, so let's just enjoy things for what they are. Like I've been saying, I've been thinking quite a bit because as Tekken 8 exists right now within season 2, I don't think this game is esports ready. There are a lot of bugs. I'm sure you guys have seen the Anna bug by now. There was actually a situation that artificiality posted on Twitter recently, and this one is kind of crazy because, again, this is what things might look like in tournament if this does happen. And I just do not believe that this game is ready for tournaments. It's not esports ready, it's not competitive ready, and there are a lot of issues outside of just the balancing, but we're going to try and address a lot of the specifics here today, because I truly believe the best course of action for right now, because we have Evo Japan in less than a month, the Tekken World Tour begins in less than a month, the Esports World Cup qualifiers begin this month. I think our best course of action is to go back to season 1. And I don't believe I'm a pioneer in saying that. I think many people have said that at this point. The reason I've taken so long to come to this conclusion is because I've been thinking of something like the emergency patch might be able to do something. The pre-Tekken World Tour patch might be able to do something. I don't even know if the Anna bug will be addressed in the emergency patch because it wasn't mentioned, and the Anna bug hadn't been popularized by then. We weren't seeing these videos. These videos popped up a few days ago. They'd already announced the emergency patch, and either they delay the emergency patch to try and include the Anna changes because they must not have been aware of it for it to release in this state. So either they delay the emergency patch or try and fix it in the pre-Tekken World Tour patch. I don't know if they can get it done, but maybe going back to season 1 could fix that. So without further ado, I want to take a look at the game right now and talk about specific problems I have and why I believe going back to season 1 is the best course of action. And if they do stick to this, the stuff that needs to be addressed before I think season 2 is ready to be played. Now, first off, I want about the bloat. I think there's so much bloating in regards to strings, and in general, it's just adding to the forced 50-50 feeling of this game. I have Lars and Deviljin on the screen because they perfectly display the problem that I believe. So both of these two have downfall 1 extensions. Deviljin had downfall 1-2 already in this game, and previously in Tekken 7 at least, Deviljin had downfall 1-2. It did knock down, it wasn't like this. It also wasn't natural. They made Deviljin's downfall 1-2 natural this season. A 13 frame punish, that's gonna wall splat pretty good, but it's mid-high, and that was fine, right? They made downfall 1-2 natural now, so Deviljin is a 13 frame punish, and then the mix up there for Deviljin is just downfall 1, downfall 1, downfall 1. Okay, I'm gonna take my turn after downfall 1 because you see Deviljin's downfall 1 is -6, so I'm gonna take my turn after Deviljin's downfall 1. Anytime you do that, downfall 1-2 hits. That's kind of what the mix-up is there. But this season, they also added a downfall 1-4 for Deviljin. They've given a mid extension now. So just a simple downfall 1 is providing a mix-up now for Deviljin. And obviously, back to the wall, both options will give you a wall splat. And why I think this is an issue is because, like, not every mid-high string needs a mid. There doesn't have to be a mid to mix it up all the time. Like, for instance, if you go back to Tekken 7, especially the start Tekken 7 when Deviljin was very prevalent, people saying Deviljin was one of the strong characters in the game, we did see a lot of Deviljin, and you didn't see downfall 1-2 ducked every single time on block, right? You didn't see this happen every single time. This wasn't happening, right? You know, it felt unnecessary to sort of add this, and then you have gone ahead and added the mid string as well. Now the mid is not natural, only the mid high is, but the mid is not natural. But just creating that mix up mind game of a simple downfall 1 is it just adds a lot of bloat to this game, a lot of bloat to the strings in this game. And there are many other examples in this game as well. Lars being another one. Lars, they've added, so Lars used to just have down for one by itself. It's a very good down for one. You see there's -1 on block, very decent down for one. A very common Lars strat you would see is down for one into 1-1-1, because if they tried anything other than a jab or an 11 frame move, down for 1-1-1-1 would give you a full counter into heat engage. But now they have a down forward 1-1 and down forward 1-3. So the exact same situation as Devil Jin now. The difference is he didn't always have down for 1-1, and down for 1-1 goes into stance. And also if he can finish it for a mid that is safe on block and it wall splats. Now again, adding to this artificial sense of mix-up, if you will, the best way to describe it. I just want to point this out now because I know people love to do this. I'm only mentioning characters that I have the information for. I'm just using them as examples. The last time I mentioned Lars with running 1 into 3+4, which is a situation I'll get into later, but I'll use a different character because there was a Lars player that got upset. He was like, Lars is finally viable. You can't talk about Lars. It's like, that's sure. Like, yeah, he is viable. People are saying he might be top 5 now. But a situation like this is just not okay. You know, you shouldn't have blocked this one move that comes with a running mix-up and then you're forced to take this chip damage. You know, I just don't think that's okay. But yeah, I'm only mentioning the characters because they are vehicles to display the point I'm trying to make. And if you get offended by that, you don't deserve to have a good character, I guess. Yeah, I think just very simple point illustrated here. You have down forward 1-1 and down for 1-3, just the mid-high, mid-mid. And I think down forward 1-1 is natural. Because down for 1-1 is natural and then goes into stance at +10 for a stance mix-up. And what that does is neatly move into my next point of the stance mix-ups, which also adds to the bloat. So again, new move added for Lars, down for 1-1, going to be a 13 frame punish, then goes into stance for a mix-up at +10 you pretty much have to take. And now Devil Jin does have the same thing, but not off his mid-high. Off his mid-mid, down forward 1-4, he can then go into Morning Crow at +16. And this is a problem I have right now with the direction for season 2, is just the overbuffing of a situation or a move, for instance. Because what you've done here is not only given Devil Jin the knockdown, you've also improved Morning Crow, because Morning Crow now has an unblockable high out of it. And you see, only does 13 damage. You know, you might say that's not that bad, but +5 on hit, 13 damage. But when he's in heat, it is his old heat smash, which he can now do multiple times. I just heat bursted here. He can do it 3 times. He can do that 3 times with a heat burst, probably 5 with a heat engage. That's normally how it goes. And then when you talk about the mix-ups in this game, so when it comes to Devil Jin, the main mix-up now, because Morning Crow is a very scary mix-up stance now when Devil Jin's in heat, because again, you get that knockdown, has the high on block where you can do this multiple times. So you want to duck. Well, if you try and duck, he has the homing mid-mid. That is going to be a launch that's going to be safe when he is in heat. +5 when he's in heat, actually. So that is what the terror is. Also, they ended up making this, the first hit of Morning Crow 2 is now safe. It used to be both hits run safe. Now the first hit is safe. So it really gives Devil Jin a way to sort of mix up now. And then it just leads to more stance mix-ups. Now, the best thing I can say about the stance mix-ups there we saw from Devil Jin and we saw from Lars is there, at least it's on hit. You know, it was on hit. They landed moves. For instance, Devil Jin had to take a risk with a down for 1-4 because down for 1-4 is unsafe. I picked the wrong character. He had to take a risk because down forward 1-4 is unsafe. And Lars has to connect the down forward 1-1. So at the very least, you can argue they are taking risks. Now, you probably know why I picked these 2 characters if you played any season 2 at this point. Now, we talk about the stance mix-ups there. They had to be on hits. Now, on block, here we have 2 problem characters when it comes to the season. Jin. We've covered Devil Jin, now covering Jin and King. And that is because they can now be doing their stance mix-ups simply because of one move that you blocked. And now other characters can do this as well. Lars has Den 3. Jun has forward for 1+2. I covered that in a previous video. And other characters can do that on block. Now, why Jin is a problem here is because his running 3, this has become a big talking point. And a big reason why I believe you just kind of have to go back to season 1, because they've added so many things this season, stuff like Jin running 3 into Zen and King's 3-2-2, which I'll be covering in a second, that are simply forcing you to take stance mix-ups on block. And this is stuff they've added. They've added this. They want Jin to be doing running 3 into Zen. So it's like, okay, how do you balance this? Then, like, what do? Do you make it less plus? And why this is such an issue now, because you'll be seeing a lot of Jin do this. You do running 3 into Zen 3+4 into the I don't even know what that's called, that step there, into the red eye step into electric, and then he's still plus after all of this, and he can just kind of be doing this. And when he's in heat as well, you'll see him, because now he can also heat smash from stance. So if you do want to try and duck because you think the Zen 3+4 is coming, Eevee is in heat, go into stance, then you can heat smash, continue the pressure, you're going from there. And again, it's just so much chip damage that you're taking. There's a lot of chip damage that you're taking. You're forced to block. If you want to get out of this situation, movement isn't going to help you. You just have to make a correct decision. And that's so, I think, frustrating as a Tekken player, because you want to have, you know, you having good defense. You're blocking everything, right? So why am I taking so much chip damage? 24 points of chip damage from a sequence. You can say, yeah, it had 2 highs in it. It had 2 highs in it. I could have just ducked the highs, but it's not like Jin doesn't have mids he also has access to in similar situations, that unless you're mashing into it, unless you're power crushing, it's really a terrible time. And King, on the other hand, giving him an entirely new string, which many people have labbed. They seem to not know what their answer is. So it's 3-2-2. Like, okay, what's the problem with this string? I understand it's high mid, but it's -13. If he goes ahead and charges that last hit, there's that Jaguar sprint. And again, this is what I'm talking about, the stance mix-ups. They're adding stances to characters in this game, then buffing them over the course of this game, giving them new ways to get into them in this game, which truly makes me believe we just have to go back. We have to go back to season 1. Because one thing I've seen King players do now is, if we take this to also, King has a wave dash down, which is just scary. King will do his wall combo into this, and then it's just stance mix-up. There's a stance mix-up you have to take, and it's also a problem having this game in terms of removing player expression, because previously in Tekken 7 at least, if you wanted to do a combo, you'd be like, okay, this is the combo I do for wall carry, this is my combo I do for damage, this is my combo I do for Oki. Now for King at the wall, this is my combo I do for everything. this is my combo for everything. And again, this isn't just King, this is across the board. I know for Huang, for instance, his max damage wall carry is his max damage combo now. And it's the same for a lot of characters across the board. But I think the things like this, like the Jin running 3 into Zen, into all this pressure that you just have to take. Unless you duck, you take a hard read and duck, but then that's when he gets you with the mids. But you take the hard read and you duck. You take the hard read and you power crush. You take the hard read and you try and mash. Unless you do that, this is what creates this oppressive feeling in Tekken 8 Season 2 right now. Like, genuinely, my other solution, I believe, when it came to Season 2 is, what you do is you just revert all of the buffs that they did and then keep all of the nerfs. That was my solution. But again, I don't know how hard that is to do. I don't know code. I can't do that. That's not who I am. So I don't know how hard it would be to be like, okay, we're only removing, let's just, like a surgeon going inside the body, you just take out all of the buffs and leave the nerfs. I don't know how possible that is. I truly believe that going back to season 1 is the best course of action for the upcoming tournaments. I think they're very important tournaments happening next month. In less than a month now. We play this game for money. And by my next point, I have to go into my replays actually, because I haven't bought Anna. I haven't bought the season 2 pass. If you want to interpret that as a political statement, you can. But I haven't bought Anna, so I have to go into my replays for this next point, because again, I think Anna is also an issue. But I think the problem lies in the lack of what you can do against the character. I think one thing they have truly done this season is they have just decided to remove counterplay, or even for a new character. So it's a character that with in mind you have created the idea that there shouldn't be counterplay, I guess. And it comes very simply from one string you might see very often from Ana, and it's this. Now I just got hit there, so you might be thinking, okay, it's not that bad. But if I take over the replay, I can show you guys the real issue when it comes to this string. You've probably seen it a lot, and I didn't know it was a huge issue until I started to try and counterplay it, right? Because I don't have the character. I haven't bought the season 2 pass. But so here, let me wake up, and you see that that's gonna be, she is +6. Actually, let me change the timing at which I take over. Let me change the timing I take over. About here is fine, right? Now that chip damage put me into rage. That chip damage put me into rage. +6, +7, so it's a variable plus. And this was off a jab string. And one thing I tried to do is figure out, okay, there's no way I have to take all of this, right? But from the moment you block that first jab, there's actually nothing you can do besides block this. You can't duck in anywhere, you can't mash anywhere, you can't power crush, you can't move. The moment you block that jab string, you have to even take the chip damage. Well, you have to take the chip damage the moment you block that jab string. And that is, I think, completely unacceptable. I couldn't find the word to describe my dismay. I think that's completely unacceptable. And why I think that is, other than the fact that I just blocked a jab and I'm now -6 because my back was against the wall and I've taken, what, 20 points of chip damage, is I compare that to Nina, for instance. So Nina has a similar string when she's in heat, and I thought it was, when I first saw this string, because I hadn't played much against character, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to act in the same way that Nina's does. And in case you're unaware of what string I'm talking about, if I enter heat for Nina, that one right there, and let's set Horan to block, down forward 1 2 1, 1+2, virtually the same. In fact, not as bad as Ana's for many reasons than what I first believed. Like, it doesn't wall crush, only it's actually minus. I didn't know this was minus for Nina, actually. I actually didn't know that. It looked plus, but either way, it's minus. Still does a ton, 25 points of chip damage there. She can do it off her jabs too. Same situation. But how this one works for Nina, so we're gonna set the bot to do it, and I'll show you guys our little counterplay here, because there is something resembling counterplay when it comes to this string. So we just record it. So if you duck the high, you can punish it, right? If you duck this third high, you can do it off 1 2 1 and down forward 1 2 1. Off both of them, you can duck this high, and you can get a full punish on this, right? And here's the thing, and why it's better than Ana's anyway, at least to play against, is at least Nina is giving up her turn, right? Like, you know, she's -2 now. Isn't huge frame disadvantage, but it is. She's giving up her turn to do it. She's potentially taking a risk because she can be ducked and launched for it. And I thought Ana's would work a similar way. I thought she would do her jabs 1 2 1. I thought the third jab would be duckable and you could punish, but that doesn't exist. And it to me, a big feeling I've been having playing a lot of Tekken 8 Season 2 is I ask why. I sit there and I ask why. Why would you give Ana that kind of string but not prepare any kind of counterplay for it? You've given Ana the jabs from hell. She jabs you, and because she's jabbed you, you have to take 20+ points of damage. Yes, it's chip damage. If your back's to the wall, she's very plus in your face. And again, strong mix-up character now. So it's her turn to make you guess because you blocked her jabs. God forbid you got hit by them, but you blocked her jabs. At least in the case for Nina, there is that gap for you to exploit. There is no gap to exploit for Ana. Pause, I think that That sentence might get me put on the list. And that's just the big issue I have with season 2 as a whole, and a lot of people have with season 2 as a whole. There's so much to address that I can pick a character, any character. So I just switch to Leo here because, again, similar situation now with Leo, with running 3 into box stance. Now, why is that irrelevant? It's because they've buffed box stance to give Leo a new low from here. Fast low, only -12 on block. Very good tracking. I don't know if it's homing, but I've tried to step it in practice many times. I've not been capable of doing it. Very good tracking, and gets access to from a running move that does chip damage. So again, these are the issues now with season 2. Running move into stance. So again, you see the issues repeating themselves all over season 2. Running move into stance into a mix-up now that you just have to take. And that's the main mix-up, right? You've got low and you've got mid launcher. That's the main mix-up you have to deal with, right? There's also a high that can continue pressure, right? A bit slower. You can fuzzy and react to this. I think Leo can delay timing on bot options though, so it's not that simple. But again, the easiest one to react to is the highest 21 frames, but you can't react to the 2 and you cannot react to the 3. That's the main mix-up from that after Leo does a running 3. And simply because of one running move, you're now put into a blender. And this was an issue I had in season 1 because they gave it to more characters. Yoshi Adish got a running move into stance this game. Eddie, when they brought him to the game, got a running move into stance. And they have now peppered this along other characters. We saw Jin doing it earlier. Leo has it now. Simply because you blocked this one move, you have to guess. And the problem with this low, in my opinion as well, is +4 on hit and leaves you quite close. So back to the wall. I said block, and that's it. There you go. +4 on hit and leaves you quite close, right? It's the fact that, so because you block this one move, that's the mix-up you have to take. You either getting launched by the 2, or you're just going to take this damage. You're still at a frame disadvantage, and Leo's turn continues. God forbid your back's against the wall as well. God forbid. So yeah, I just think we have to go back to season 1. I know I'm not saying anything special in that, but that's truly what I believe. I hope I've demonstrated many of the issues now. In season 2, I could probably random select a character if I wanted to and find a problem with something they added this season. Like I just saw Shaheen. Let's look at Shaheen. I just saw him and his face pops into my head because they've given Shaheen a new move. So I said 1+2 chip damage, +5 on hit. It's very +22 on hit. Doesn't wall slap, but +22 on hit, +22 on hit. I think that's a huge problem in this game. Copious amounts of frame advantage, numbers I've never seen before. I don't even I can count that high. Numbers I've never seen before. But +5 on hit, +5 on block, +25 on hit. A complete like what they want you to do with a move like this is if you connect, they want you to start charging and then start the mixer from there, right? That's the utility of this move on hit, basically. You do the side set, you side set 1+2, it's on hit, you start charging, and then you make them guess, right? Like that's the whole point of stuff like this. But I don't think anyone just needs an easy to access in your face +5 on block move, you know, especially when he has a sidestep low as well, which is only -12. Like Shaheen sidesteps, the mix-up begins, you know. I'm just not sure what the direction is for that. And one thing I also don't like is they gave him a new low as well, down 1, you see -13. It does kind of mix up the animation. It kind of does mix up, I'll be honest. Like the animations are very similar. It's like they just want the mix-up to be there at all times. +4 on hit again, +4 on hit. Same as Leo's new low on hit. This is why I think we just have to go back. I think there's a lack of understanding from the people that are balancing these characters because they're just adding so much of the same to different characters. And this is why I truly believe on everything it is the best course of action. And I say this a lot. I don't think they're going to do it. Jenny, I don't think they're going to do it. That's why I'm pointing out as many problems as I can. So if they are going, they can weed out the certain things and get to something like, okay, this is the issue, we can tune this, tweak this. Because I just don't believe they will go back to season 1, but I think it's the best course of action. And I think go back to season 1, try again. If you want to focus on aggression, that's fine. But this is oppression. This is not aggression. And if you do want to create this aggressive game, the defenders simply need more options rather than just guess correctly. You buff the movement, but you add more homing moves. It doesn't make much sense. And I just think there's some the main man made a very good analogy, and that's what I keep using to describe this season. It's like there's a raging fire, 2 firemen appeared. One is pouring water on the fire, as a fireman should, and the other one is pouring gasoline. And that is exactly what this season feels like. The guy pouring water, we're going to buff the movement. You can sidestep into the foreground from crouch, all these amazing things. Gasoline guy, more homing moves, more 50-50s. It's like, it's genuinely that there are 2 different sections of the Tekken team working on the balancing here and seeing what kind of kooky things they can cook up. But that's going to be all from me on this video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you guys again for 60,000 subscribers. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.